Hola. Hola, perro. Get that book. Get it. No.
Y se cosecha uno por uno. Solo los frutos rojos uno por uno.
Oh, tostón. Oh, yeah, sí, no, tostón. Hola, hola, tostón. Mal, mal.
Para moler el café, ¿no? Se está acá.
Yeah. It's good, yeah. I actually just stopped for a swim.
Oh, nice. Oh shit, the water level, like. But that's why your legs.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes sense.
sí está abierta la cocina. Pero...
Hola. Hola.
To walk to another river. Go down. Down. Transformed it.
Okay, welcome back. My name is Craig Adams. That was the Salkantay trek in Peru. The next part of this video is going to be a guide and behind the scenes showing you how I made this video, how I went on the trip, and hopefully give you the confidence to go do it yourself because it was a good hike. And I actually went through a company, Refugio Salkantay, and they helped sponsor this video. They took care of some things and they were really helpful. So if you want to check them out, it's refugiosalkantay.com. They've got a bunch of different packages for different amounts of days, different luxury packages, a bunch of families, working together. I think, I did, Salkantay Independent 4 days. So 3 nights, 4-day trek with Machu Picchu at the end and a train ride and a couple transfers and taxis between places. But yeah, this was pretty much what I did. So you can check out the itinerary yourself and talk to him and say that Craig Adams sent you here. But after meeting with the guide at the hotel, we went through the whole thing. And this was, the picture that they gave me with the transfers between the locations, the hiking times, little thumbnails of what to expect, writing down where I'm going to have meals with who. And yeah, this was pretty straightforward. Obviously, it's not to scale. It's more helpful to have like an actual map than this representation of the locations and the distances, but still, it was good. One thing that I did do was a day hike the day before I left for the Salkantay. I had a whole day, so I decided to, after breakfast, walk straight out of Cusco, up these stairs outside of the city into the farmland, past a couple like ancient ruin areas, up this valley, and then to this little peak over here. Nothing crazy, but honestly, it's 14,000 feet up there. So this is like Colorado 14er. This is like almost 14,000 feet, which is basically the height of anything you'll find in the United States other than Alaska, like Mount Whitney. So, it was a good little day hike straight out of Cusco, cheap, free, free 99. So it was good. And immediately upon return, I went to get an alpaca burger, which if you're in Peru, you gotta try. It's pretty good. The next morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. and made my way out to Trailhead, which was like Sorian Papa or something like that. I was a little worried because it was very overcast in the morning, but it started to clear up a little bit. Not quite as much as I wanted it to be cleared up, but you know, there's nothing you can do about that. The route was just like a private shuttle taking me from Cusco all along some winding roads here to Malanpata, I think right here, where I had breakfast. And then we got back on the car, went up some even more winding roads to this spot, I don't know, whatever that is. There was no check-in station. There wasn't anything special. They just basically dumped me off on the side of the road and was like, go that way. And even though it was overcast every so often, I would catch glimpses of Salkantay here, which is the crown jewel of the hike, the thing that, you know, you're always seeing, always in wonder of. This All Trails is of the first half of the day. So it was just 3.6 miles up and then over along this ridge towards Salkantay into this area where there's like buildings. This is where the refugio that I was staying at for the night was. So I got there and then had some tea, had lunch, and took a nap because, you know, I was starting to feel it. This was 12,000 feet. I don't know. I was just very sleep deprived. I didn't sleep the night before, so I wasn't in the best fighting condition. So I definitely took a nap and then ate as much as I could. But man, look at this area. It's crazy. It's gorgeous. These white cap mountains, they're pretty tall. Salkantay especially, it's, you know, gorgeous. So as soon as I finished lunch, had my nap and felt up to it, someone at the refugio, whatever, I don't care at this point what I call it, escorted me past. And see, this is what happens. This is what messes up with All Trails. When you hike next to a cliff, sometimes it doesn't know where you are exactly. So it'll count this as elevation gain. I think, I don't know. I'm not seeing it right here, but still, you know, these maps are not perfect, these recordings. So I made it past all the other lodges. There were a couple subscribers saying hello. Past this main area where there were a bunch of horses, and then just up. It doesn't look too bad, but yeah, this took a while. And we got up to about 14,000 feet again, where this beautiful turquoise alpine lake was, with all of the white mountain snow caps in the back. These, I guess, glaciers, right? It was just really nice and peaceful up there. And spent some time, took a nap, said hello to a couple people, and then headed back where I had popcorn and soup and the best, lomo saltado. This was a good meal. I'm very glad and there was like corn. I don't know. There was just like a bunch of good stuff. The chefs were just crushing it. Especially popcorn after a long hike is good. And then the mountain started to like light up for sunset. I was tired. Even though I didn't do too many miles, too much elevation gain, just the first day up into the altitude just hit me really hard. And sometimes you can't really predict. Like obviously doing day hikes before, I felt fine, but man, I was tired that night. The next morning, 5:46 is when I set out, and it was so beautiful. The like morning golden light was just lighting up the fog and the mist, and I could see kind of, you know, it's very clear except for this low-hanging fog, the Salkantay just waiting for me. So I set off. This was a long day with 13.3 miles, almost 3,000 feet elevation gain, but take that information with a grain of salt. You know, these maps are not perfect. So you can see the photo I took right here, out of the refugio, the hut, past the camps, there were a bunch of people. I'd say like 2 or 3 dozen other hikers in groups. I didn't really see anyone else by themselves. And there's like, you can go the low route or the high route here. I went up. I think they call this like 9 snakes or 7 snakes or something. It's like switchbacks going up. But I took this water, like the stream route, I guess. Doesn't matter in the end, but maybe that viewpoint is better. I don't know. It was fine. When I have an option of going like left or right, I'll usually take the path that has less people. Made my way up slowly up to this pass. So Abra Salkantay, where there's a sign to touch. Lots of people just chatting and laughing. Other groups, and then a couple little lakes and the peaks. Big peaks. And then from there, it's down for a while. Where did I have lunch? Yeah, I had lunch right here. Again, it doesn't, like, when you're zoomed out like this, it doesn't look like that much, but yeah, going from like here to here took a while. It was really beautiful being able to see the white peaks, and then also the green lush jungle. That's the nice thing about this hike. Like, you go from the high alpine down into the lush jungle. So no bugs. Yeah. Once I reached this spot for lunch, the cook waiting there was, he ran ahead to prepare, and I think I got there a little sooner than he expected. So he rushed to get me some food, which was great. And then I had that dog to hang out with. He was very happy to get some soup, some bread, gave him some chicken, and that just made his day. His tail was wagging so much for the chicken. Very funny to see. He particularly liked the bread dipped in the soup, and would like lick the soup off of the bread, just push it around. Very chill dog, just hanging out with me the whole time. The best. Good pup. Past that, I got out of the alpine zone into tall bushes, and then much more green, a lot more flowing water. And this ridge right here was pretty cool. It was great to see. There was like fog kind of on the top of these, but I was just booking it down. The path here becomes very easy, very smooth, less rocky, more just like dirt. So very easy to rush down. And made it to this area, which I didn't show a lot of. And this does not do it justice. It's way sharper than what this looks like with the 3D mapping. And I didn't shoot much. I didn't drone because as soon as I got here, there was a shuttle waiting for me to take me to the next area to sleep, the farmhouse. And I did this day pretty quickly. 6 hours of moving time, 8 hours total. So if I woke up at 5, you can do the math in your head. Kind of hard to see. This is like a point with sharp cliff down to the river, way sharper than this. There's a hotel here. There's a campground right here, right on the tip. It would be so cool to sleep in either, because it's so sharp and these roads are so winding down. Like I remember like driving through this and thinking, like, if this was in the US, it would be a very important site. It was just like really beautiful. Like there would be more hotels and people caring about it. It just, I don't know. It was cool. Like this should be a part of the trip. Like this was a cool spot down here. So if you want to spend an extra night at this campground or this Kolpa Lodge, I recommend it. It was a cool area. And let's talk about the section that I drove down, because from here I took an hour-long car ride down with reggae music playing the whole time. It was excellent. Where did I go? Oh yeah, to right here. So yeah, it took an hour to go from here to here, where I stayed at a coffee farm. Very winding roads, and technically I think this is part of the Salkantay, like people walk this, but no, don't do that. It's not fun. It's a road, there are cars, and there's just like the same site over and over again. You're just in a valley walking on a road, winding road, and it would probably take you all day to go from here to here, and it would not be fun. I'm a completionist, but not to the degree of walking on a road. I don't want to hike on roads. It's not fun. And yeah, I don't recommend it, to be honest. This was the view out the window going along that way. Like, it's just way more dramatic, and the cliffs are bigger than what the map shows. And it's just it was kind of cool. I liked it. It was a cool area. The coffee farm. It was really cool to literally pick coffee cherries and then go through every step of the process all the way to a cup of delicious coffee. And it tasted so good. Really good. The farm had dogs and chickens and roosters and coffee and fruit and just really cool vibes. It was a nice part of the trip. Like, I wouldn't expect to stay at a coffee farm, but it was pretty great. But this was the route from the coffee farm over this mountain through the valleys to Aguas Calientes and Machu Picchu eventually. So this was quite the climb. It's through the jungle, so every so often you'll get glimpses out into the valley, but it was very overcast that day, very foggy. That's the thing, like, they're always like, you should start hiking at 5 a.m., like sunrise, as soon as the sun comes up, but they don't know your speed. And I did this hike so fast, I think I got to Aguas Calientes within 5 hours. So if I started at 5 or 6, that's like my destination by 10 or 11. So like, I had so much more daylight, and just the way that the weather was going, like, it always improved through the day. So I couldn't see anything by the time I got to the top here. So I just pushed on. Like, I could have waited, but I probably would have been waiting maybe 2 or 3 hours before, like, I had blue skies, which I didn't know if there would be. So it would be tough to wait that long. All in all, if you're a fast hiker, there's no point in waking up that early unless you're up on a ridge, because then you get the sunrise colors. But if you're sleeping in a valley like this, there's no point in waking up early, like when you're taking photos, because everything's in shadow. Like, the sun rising with the sunlight is like just hitting the tops. But if you sleep up here, obviously you want to wake up, because there was places, there was like campgrounds up here. It would have been cool to hike up that night and then sleep up here. As fun as the coffee farm was, it would have been cool to have views up here for sunset. My needs are different than most hikers when I'm taking video and photo, and I'm faster than most. So the more that you know yourself, the more you can customize your hike to get the most out of it, because that's what it's all about, right? So yeah, rushed up and over, down, across the bridge here, followed. This was a road, and then you start to hit the train tracks. There's like a hydroelectric plant here. Lots of different ways to go here. I recommend just going straight up this route. I followed my All Trails route, but it led me through this section right here, which kind of sucked. Very overgrown and difficult. Yeah, so I recommend as soon as you get past the hydro plant, you just go up, and then follow the train tracks all the way, meandering around, across the bridge. It's not very fun. Like, following train tracks isn't good. There's really no views. Every so often you come across a person going this way, and I'm just like, why? Why are you going that way? Where are you going? Like, there's nothing over there. Yeah, there's nothing to see at all over here. So it's very confusing. Just put on like a podcast and just trucked it all the way past the point where you go up for Machu Picchu, around. There's more and more people, and then you hit town. So start to go past the shops, and this town is crazy. It's definitely touristy and just wild. It's Machu Picchu town. And then made my hotel up here at the top here. It was a good hotel. So almost 14 and a half miles in 5.5 hours. So I was booking it. Yeah, my pace was fast. Of course, this was the nicest hotel out of my stays, and I could have done a tent, but like the road thing, like if there's a road, I'm going to take a shuttle. if possible, because there's no point in hiking on a road. And if you're hiking in a place that has like huts and hotels and stuff, like why not stay there? If I'm going to camp, I want to camp in the wilderness. So like the American wilderness where there isn't infrastructure. It's fun to like bring all of your food, bring your tent, and like set up where there's nothing, as compared to like Switzerland or, you know, places that have you're hiking on a ski resort. So it's like, why not just stay in the nice, beautiful hotels? Same thing with Peru. If it's like a really popular trek, like why not just do as the just sleep in the nice places. But the next morning I had a time slot for 7 a.m. for Machu Picchu. So I think I set off at 6, and it takes about 15 minutes to get to the trailhead for Machu Picchu down here where they check your ticket. So 15 minutes to walk over here. And then it took me half an hour, 45 minutes to get up here. And I wasn't going as fast as I could. I think I could do like 25 minutes from here to here. Most people 45 minutes, maybe an hour hiking. And then most people take this bus path, but I've never done that and I never will. Maybe next time I will. And then Machu Picchu, it was raining and cloudy, and I waited a while to get the views that I did. This is my second time in Machu Picchu, so, you know, it was just for the video. Like, I wasn't there to explore, even though I did. You know, I walked around and did the thing. But as soon as I left and hiked back down to town, like, the blue skies opened up, which was ridiculous. But whatever, I was over it. I didn't feel like I needed to go to Machu Picchu, but I just did it because, like, if you're in this area, why not? So it would be cool coming around here to, you know, blue skies, Machu Picchu. That would be cool. But you got to visit this spot. It's really unique. It's pretty cool. I was like wondering how they brought water up to this town, this city. So many questions for Machu Picchu. So in total round trip, 6.5 miles, almost 3,000 feet elevation gain in under 4 hours. So round trip out and back. And yeah, like I mentioned, blue skies, the nice weather started to come out. This was on my way down from Machu Picchu. So I was like, whatever. Immediately went to a ceviche place, very local, just Peruvians in there. And I was the only tourist. This was basic, but good. So good. I love ceviche. And then went to the hot baths at the top of Aguas Calientes. Like, you just walk up into the mountains from the town. I think it was like $4, $5 for entry for an hour and a half or something. And then you buy drinks, some pisco sour, and just soak in the hot baths. And then I had maybe like 2 or 3 hours before my train ride back to Cusco. So I decided to just go hike this side trail a little bit. Yeah, you can see All Trails had no idea what was going on just because it's so steep here. It was like right here was like the perfect spot to do some drone stuff. But as you can even see, like, me trying to find the trailhead, like I didn't know exactly where to go. And then once I got to this spot is where I hit this wall with this rope, and it was pretty tough, slippery, very steep. I trusted the rope, but I don't know, it's just dumb to be out there by myself. So that's why I didn't continue to go up. And it would have been cool because you continue to go up all the way, you get to this ridge, and then right here, I think, is an even tougher set of ladders. Just like really, really a lot of ladders going up, 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 up. It probably would have been dumb to keep going. Like, that's so steep. And then I don't even know what the view at the top would have been, but it would have been cool to try to get some view of Machu Picchu from here. But with a wide angle lens, I don't know if it would have been worth it. Maybe next time I go, I'll try again. But this is like a weird very unmaintained trail. So be careful if you're going to go attempt it yourself. And then from there, I grabbed the duffel that I was storing at the hotel in Cusco, jumped on a plane, just an hour flight over back to Lima. And I had maybe 5 or 6 hours to kill before my next flight back to New York. So I went around to cafes, had some fancy ceviche at La Mer, I believe. You know, just walked around, saw the city. This was my 3rd time in Lima, and there's a lot of cool stuff to see. And then eventually made it back home to New York City, where I started editing this video. Full circle. Okay, and that should about do it. That was my trip and my hike. And I guess the end of these videos could be my podcast. I'm not sure what to talk about though. And I could ask for like questions or topics on Instagram or YouTube from y'all, but just chilling. Yeah, things are good. Moving to Denver. Got the group hikes coming up. Yeah, if you want to support the channel, you can become a member. So click the join button on my YouTube page. Hello, Kraig here. Thank you for checking out my YouTube channel. And there's a little video there explaining the perks, one being members only videos, access to this playlist of a bunch of videos. So, you know, and new Q&As, watching your hiking video streams coming up. And I'm thinking about doing like every time I announce that there's a group trip, releasing and opening up to YouTube members first. I think that might be cool. We'll see in the future though. But yeah, thank you for watching and take care.